Hey, 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 hey. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hey. Yeah, that's a bit better. Hello, 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 hello. How are you doing? 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 I am just writing down some chords before I forget them. Okay, I have a tendency of not starting with the affirmation, and then you get in the middle of the middle to start actually singing it, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I've forgotten what the affirmation was going to be. Hello, this is the Church of RNK, even though I forgot to put in the title, and I am Rosemary Nonny Knight. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? I want to hear from you guys. Okay, one thing, we're having a conversation on the page yesterday, and one thing I realized I haven't said recently, okay, is that this time, this live streams that I do here are a way for you guys to ask any questions you have about, making the difference that you want to make on this planet, about spiritual stuff, about anything at all. Because I recognize that I serve a worldwide kind of audience. Okay, there's lots of people from all kinds of countries on this page, if my Facebook insights are to be believed. And in which case, some people are not, okay, some of y'all are not going to be able to purchase some of my stuff. And I get that. I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying that some of you know you need to actually move forward in that way. But for some of you, it really is a reality that you can't, okay? And that's fine. That's why this free stuff is available to you. That's why I make myself available. And I thought I'd just make that known again, okay? Hopefully, if you want to ask any questions or anything, this is your moment. This is your moment. Whenever I come on here, you come on here, you ask questions. I'm not going to promise that I can answer every single thing on the planet, because I am connected to God, though. So, who knows? Who knows? I might just be able to, but I won't say that categorically. What I will say, however, is that, I am very committed to us spiritual people stepping up, becoming the people that we're here to be. You're watching my program, Ibrahim. Lovely to have you here. Lovely to have you here for sure, okay? Guys, say hello as you come on. That would be so awesome to actually hear from you. I do like to speak back and forth to people, though I also like to talk to myself. So that works too, okay? Now, the affirmation for today is I live connected to the divine, because I've actually been writing up with the self-love personal transformation project starts today. Well, the early bird price is now gone, unfortunately, if you didn't join in on time. However, the course is starting today, and I'm just kind of putting finishing touches to everything, because I am that person that does it on the fly. So basically, and as well as the fact that, as I said to you guys, I'm actually going through the program together. I feel as if it's me, the divine, or me, Papa, and you going through this stuff together. I'm just kind of bringing you stuff that Papa is saying to you ultimately, so that you can move forward, and teaching you different ways of actually connecting with the divine. I think it's critical. I think it's absolutely critical as a spiritual person that you have direct connection with your higher power, or whatever you wish to call that, okay? That you have an actual relationship, because I don't think that the vision you have it is possible for you to do it alone. No, it's not, okay? You can go so far on your own, and I know you're a strong, powerful kind of person. You're still standing against all odds, all of that stuff. Absolutely, I know that. And yet I know that if you're going to accelerate, you're going to have to tap into intuition in a way that you may not have done to date, okay? And so one of the first things I do in most of my programs actually is really talk through, you love my smile, that's good to know. And it's really to talk through how to connect with the divine. But this is it, guys, you need to live connected to the divine. One of the things I feel like in this community is absolutely essential, as I've said already, really is that connection. That's taking time aside to reconnect with spirit. But one of the things that I was kind of having a conversation with about this was about responsibility, because I'm going to read out something that I felt was said. I have put it on the page already, but I'm going to read it out to you again. It can be easy. This is what I feel Papa said to me today. It can be easy. It can be you simply connecting with me and daring to speak what you hear. Okay, so that's me. So you're speaking to me. It can be you, that's me, simply connecting with the divine and daring to speak what you hear. It can be simple, as in growing a life, living that purpose-driven life can be simple. There's no need for preparation. There's no fear. It's just you connecting with me and doing what you see me do. And that actually reminds me of somewhere in the Bible. It says, Jesus says, I only do what I see the Father doing. Okay, and I love that. Life is not as complicated as all that. You just get caught up in all the mini dramas. Drop them like they don't exist. I am more capable than you at sorting things out, so choose to trust me. So that's what I felt Papa was saying to me this afternoon, actually, that, you know what, life can be easy. Life can be simple. It doesn't have to be as complicated as I seem to think that it has to be at times. And I say that exactly to you as well. I'm just passing it on, okay? Because we do get caught up in all kinds of dramas. But one of the things that I started thinking as I was hearing this was like, when you say these mini dramas, are you saying that I need not be responsible for certain different issues in my life? And he's like, okay, but what is responsible, and who told you what you need to be responsible for? And I'm like, well, I thought you told me. And he's like, are you sure about that? Yes, I have these back and forth conversations. But it's like, okay, so I want you to think about this as well. What are you responsible for? Because one of the things, that's what I kind of almost surrendered a little bit here, because I suddenly realized that a lot of what I think I need to be responsible for, I may not need to be. I may have taken on stuff that isn't mine to take on. Because sometimes we spiritual people, we do this superhero thing where we feel we need to save everything and everyone, as though it is just your job, as if it's all up to you. And yes, honey, you are capable of a lot of stuff, okay? No doubt about that. You're capable of a heck of a lot of stuff. But it's not just down to you to save every single soul in your life. And you know how you tell the difference? By living in connection to the divine, living in connection to your intuition, being able to tap into that and trusting that what you hear is truth. Because if not, you get dragged into every single drama out there. And there are many dramas. We all know that, right? There are many dramas that we could get sucked into. But does it serve you? Does it serve your vision? And we tend to think, as spiritual people, we tend to think that if we're not responding to what people want us to respond to, then maybe we are selfish, or there's something wrong with us, or that we're not really, we're just being evil and bad. But maybe there's another way of looking at things. And if you lived in connection with your intuition, with the divine, would you still see it the same way? If you trusted what you heard inside of you, because there are times, and if you're completely honest with yourself, there are times when somebody tells you a drama, tells you what's happening with their life, and there's a part of you that thinks, this may not be my party, may not be my story here. But because you're so nice, you try to support and help, and you get dragged into another drama. And so life gets complicated. Life gets distracted. You're pulled in so many distractions or so many directions. You can't live out the call on your life because you're so busy trying to, and you might tell yourself, but I'm doing it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. But is it? Is it though? Is it? Are you being completely honest with yourself? Is it what you're supposed to be doing? Okay, before I forget this affirmation, although I feel as if I might already have, let's see if I remember this. Okay, we'll give this a go. Okay, I might be making up a whole new tune, but it doesn't matter. You didn't know what the original tune was supposed to sound like, right? Okay. I live connected to the divine. I live connected to the divine. And again, I live connected to the divine. I live connected to the divine. So what if you were completely connected to divine all the time? What if you were completely living out of spirit, living out of intuition, always seeking guidance in order for you to move forward? Could your life look completely different from the way it does right now? If you were fully trusting those intuitive nudges that come up inside of you and you acted on them, okay? So it's not enough just to have an intuitive nudge and I'm just going to sit here and wait for the miracle to happen without me. No, you are the miracle. You are the magic. What if you really truly trusted what you say you trust. Because we can be spiritual just by mouth alone, or it can be an actual, real thing for us. And I do believe that if we are going to influence the world in the way that we want to, if we're going to change our own lives, because everything starts with us, okay? If we're going to change our own lives in the first place, then we do need to have a deeper, more connected relationship with intuition, divine, papa, higher power, source, whatever you want to call it, spirit, whatever you want to call it, okay? Because I do believe spirit speaks to every single person, okay? But the question is, are you listening? And not only listening, are you taking action on what you hear? Or is it just what you go to church on a Sunday, you sing your songs, you raise your hands to the heavens, but then when it comes to your daily, actually living it out, day by day by day, are you living it out? Are you living it out? And you know what? You may not go to church. It might be your religious organization, whatever that is for you, or whatever. You may not even go anywhere. But you talk about being spiritual, you know there's something more, but are you living from a place of knowing there's something more? Or are you taking responsibility for things that are not yours to take responsibility for because you've told yourself you have to because you're a nice spiritual person, and so therefore you take responsibility for things that are not yours to take responsibility for? And you know what? There's lots of people to put pressure on you. There's always somebody that will tell you that you should do this, okay? You should take part in their drama. You should do this and the other and the other. And in fact, I've had people say to me, and you call yourself a Christian because I wasn't doing what they wanted me to do. And then that guilt can then build up inside of you, especially if it's just you trying to work things out. If you are living by the letter of the law, so, oh, you took your spiritual book, or it said this in this particular way, so it must be interpreted this way, and you have no living relationship, then yeah, you might become really legalistic, and usually that affects you first, because most of the time, you know, when people are judgmental, you're judging yourself worse than you are judging most other people. And it's a horrible way to live. What if you are living in the dynamic, fluid flow of being connected to spirit? Could your life be different? And that's a question I want you to think about. Could your life be really, really different? Could you be happier? Could you be more fulfilled? Could you know that some things are just not yours to worry about? And as he said to me here, I am more capable than you at sorting things out. And that's the truth, because, you know, if you're connected to spirit, who can see the beginning and the end and the middle and everywhere, then he has a better perspective on most things than you do. Whereas all you can see is what is happening to me right now, and oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, what should I do? What if you just didn't get into that anxious state and instead you connected? In fact, it would be easier if you just stayed connected. Okay, and I know, anyway, you know what? I'm speaking to woo-woo people, so I'm not going to apologize for being woo-woo here. I was about to, but I caught myself. But this is it. What if we chose to live connected to the divine at all times? We were created in the image of the divine. We're created by the divine. We're created by, you know, God, spirit, universe, whatever. And she knows us better than we know ourselves. Beginning from the end, Alpha, Omega, everything, knows everything. What if we really, truly acted from that place? It's not the easiest thing to do. I'm not going to pretend to be perfect at this at all, or else we wouldn't have had that conversation earlier, right? It's because I get drawn into mini dramas that I'm being told that maybe I shouldn't be drawn into mini dramas, okay? So I'm not here as some kind of perfect spiritual person, no. I'm here as a reminder to you of what you say you believe. How can you make it even more real for you? What if you did start to walk in trust every single day, every moment of every single day? What of that? Loving your words and totally respecting your ideas. Great, Steve. But yeah, I do think it's possible. And I think it's something that we need to actively work towards, because sometimes, you know, we live in a very reasonable world. But come on. They haven't even discovered just how big the universe is. So being reasonable just limits. I'm not saying we need to dump reason completely, but I am saying, though, that supposing some of those ideas that bubble up inside of you that seem kind of, I don't do things like that, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? For some reason, it's not. It's only crazy because you don't see the full picture. But isn't that why you need to be connected to Source? Because Source sees the full picture. So what if you just started to really live in trust? Really, really. How different could your life be? How much more fulfilled? How much more free of anxiety could you be if you just trusted? Yes, so true, Steve says. So I'm going to sing this one last time and I'm going to bring this to a close. But can I ask you to share this because there are other people that need to hear it? But then can I also ask you to just really think about that? How can I live even more connected to the divine? But affirm with me this right now. I live connected to the divine. I live connected to the divine. And again, I live connected to the divine. I live connected to the divine. And I want that song kind of ringing in your head all day because I want you to be conscious and thinking about it through your day. I live connected to the divine. I live connected to the divine. Am I being connected right now? Am I living in connection to the divine right now? And then you bring yourself back. You bring yourself back. How can I tap back into intuition? How can I tap back into intuition? You keep bringing yourself back until it becomes such a normal thing for you to do to actually live in that way. And it will take some practice. I was just, because I'm typing up this thing for the self-love project, and you may want to join it still. And one of the things is that it's a spiritual practice, right? It's a spiritual discipline. Sometimes people expect, and I do expect it to be simple and easy, but I also expect that it's going to get simpler and easier if I create space to become a person who lives with these disciplines, who actually grows these disciplines so that they become my norm. After all, I've lived over 35 years on this planet doing whatever it is that people do. But now I want to be even more, and I'm saying this about you guys because I've been seeking spirit since forever. But for you guys, if you haven't, or if you have and you don't ever feel that intimate connection, then maybe you just need to get more disciplined about developing that connection. It's like starting a relationship with anyone. It takes time. It takes time. It takes you spending time with each other. So create space, because it could make your life a heck of a lot easier. But you don't do it just for that. You do it because, for me anyway, I love Papa, okay? I do. I can't imagine a life where he's not there. I don't think it's possible anyway. Okay? But anyway, I'm going to bring this to a close right now. Can I just ask you, hey, Yasir, I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for asking. I'm going to bring this to a close. Can I ask you to tag people in? Because I do feel that lots of people need to hear this. So that'd be really cool. But then also, if you haven't got my freedom book and you are a spiritual person called to make a difference in a bigger, bolder way, and you have these blocks, you have either emotional, mental, whatever, you just know you're not quite getting where you want to go. Okay, now I've put together a book. It was an Amazon bestseller, and now I'm giving it away for free. And I'd love you to go get the book, okay? Wow, at the moment I'm channeling about love, really resonating with what you say. Oh, I love that. I love that, Steve. And I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here. And I'm glad that you heard this. So yeah, it probably was what you needed to hear right now. So can I say to you guys, I'm giving away this book at the moment. So if you would like it, you need to go over to rosemarynonnynight.com/freedom book. Okay? Go get it. Go get it. It goes through different areas of your life where you may be taking on some mini dramas that are not yours to take on. It goes through all kinds of different things, actually. So go and get the book. There's 17 whole chapters I wrote about freedom. Freedom from what seems to be reasonable so you can step into the more. So if you're someone who is actually ready to step into the more, you're called. You're called to more. Okay? And if that's you and this has resonated with you, go get the book. Go get the book. And you'll get some emails from me as well. You'll get lots of emails from me as well. I have a lot of words. Okay, you'll get lots of emails from me, which will be talking more about connecting with source, but also about making a difference and different areas of life and all of that kind of stuff and everything. So go and have a look at that. It's rosemarynoninnight.com/freedom book. Tag someone in, guys. It's been fun. Take a deep breath. I live connected to the divine. Affirm it. I live connected to the divine. I live connected to the divine. Okay, let that be your affirmation for the rest of today and beyond. Much love. It's time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you are absolutely born and capable of living because you want to. Until the next time, much, 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 much love. Bless you.